Hey everyone, it is week 1 of Team Cup. So happy to see everyone here tonight and seeing everyone doing our power hours in the morning and workouts in the morning and power hours at night has just been so great. And I think everyone's just getting their wheels turning. So remember, every morning you can hop onto the team link, do your workout, do your power hour, power half hour, whatever. And then every night we're doing 8 p.m. power hours as well. Come on, 8, 8:30, 9. I'm sure I'll still be on. So it is always up to you whether you decide to show up or not, but it's always nice when you have everyone else doing it with you. So I did do a little short live video in the team page before I hopped on tonight, just talking about how you can use those promo codes. Hopefully you are on a Team Cup team. And if you did, we got those promo codes like right after midnight last night. So without repeating myself, go check that out on how to really use those promo codes to your advantage and not just kind of give them away to anybody. So go check that out after the team call. Other announcements, Success Club retention points. If you're a new coach and you haven't heard of this yet, it is where the people that purchase this month, next month, if they continue, just look in your coach online office, you need so many volume points of recurring orders. So if those people from this month continue to next month, you need a certain number of those volume points, you'll earn a Success Club point. So yes, it's great to have new people come in, but it's even better when you have retention, when you have people that stick around. So that's why that Success Club retention point promotion is so awesome, because it gets us focused on really helping people in the long term and not just getting that quick win of a Success Club point. Get ready for 9-week Control Freak Off the Wall, February 8th. So that's next Monday. Yes, next Monday, February 8th. There's all different types of different package options without the equipment. So if you've had people that had hesitations about putting things on walls and what door they would use, that is a great time to go back to them and let them know, hey, there's this option that you don't need to use the control track. So let those people know that. And I think that is it for me for announcements. Let me see if I can find our speaker for this evening. Amethyst, I see you. I pray to God I'm saying your name correctly. And I lost you. Unmute yourself. Too many people.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can. Hi. Did I
Hi.
say your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Awesome. So everyone, this is Amethyst Thomas. She is in the round table, so obviously she's 5-star and above. I'm not sure if what's your rank?
I'm a 5-star elite.
Awesome. And two-time elite and one-time premier. She's been a coach for 4.5 years, and we decided, to swap team calls. And it's always great to learn from other people, other coaches in the network, because we all run our businesses a little bit different, but we are still successful, even though we run them a little bit different. So grab your paper and pen. She's here to talk to us tonight about Elite. And while there are a lot of new coaches on the call, I think it's really important to just know about it, and that what you're helping the team to achieve and what you can achieve. I know there are some coaches that hit elite their first year. I'm not one of them. But that is totally a possibility. But when you have a goal, you have to know where you're going in order to have those steps to get there. So thank you, Amethyst, for getting on with us tonight and talking to us about it.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me. You guys have such a nice big team. I love seeing all your faces, and kudos to you for making it a priority to be here live on the call. I know it's tempting to listen to the recording later, but it's really fun to be a part of community. So I would love to just see raise your hand if you are like, do you even know what elite is? So raise your hand if you know what elite is. So I know who I'm talking to. Okay, so maybe about half of you. Do any of you have it on your vision board to go for elite this year? Okay, I see a handful of you. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I just want to share with you, I'm going to share with you my journey. And what is really cool about, I think, hearing from me is that we just have what we call a small but mighty team. We do not have even anywhere near as many people as you guys have on your team. And so what I can show you is that anyone can do it. So one of the girls that was on my push group the first year I went elite, she did go elite her first year. And it was like mind blowing, right? That's not something that happens to everybody. Typically, it takes a while. So, would you give me the opportunity to share my screen and I'll share some
Yes.
images. And so, what I'm going to show you with some of the first images is that it is truly, you've heard the thing road to elite, right? So it truly is a road to get there. Most people, it takes time, right? And so if you are a brand new coach, I just want to encourage you to fully commit to this. Don't even think about quitting after a year, okay? And so the people who quit early and miss the opportunity of getting to really watch yourself grow over time. So this coming April will be 5 years in the business for me. And I started this journey. I said no at least 4 times. I said, don't ever ask me. So just don't be afraid to ask that person who you think, oh my goodness, I would love her to be on my team. She's a rock star in our group and she would be amazing. Just keep asking her, just keep loving on her, just keep showing her how amazing coaching is, because hopefully she'll come around. And so I was that girl for sure who said, no way, never. And I had come from a nonprofit background. For 17 years. I worked in nonprofit. And prior to that, I worked in public relations. And I kind of had a hater complex about like network marketing. I was like that person who was like, no way. I mean, I will host the parties and I'll buy all the things, all your kitchen gadgets and all your facial creams, but I'm not one of those kinds of people. So if I can do this, like literally, you guys, anybody can do this. And it has so much to do with belief. So I'm going to share with you my couple little images. So we're going to talk about elite, which can be, as I was putting these slides together for you, I'm like, gosh, it does sound a little bit complicated. But when I heard it for the first time, I literally felt like I was listening to Chinese. I was like, this is not a language that I'm familiar with. What are we talking about? So I'm going to try to break it down for you guys so you know whether you want to go elite this year or sometime in your future, you know how to do it. Okay, it is truly something you have to understand and make a game plan for. So this is my small but mighty team. You can see there's not that many of us. So if we can get to elite, depending on how many people you have on your team, like you can too. There's so many more of you on this team than there are on mine. And so I want to show you these pictures to show you the true road to elite. Okay, so the first picture in the top left in the pink is my first time at Summit. And that's me pointing to my name on the diamond board, right? So if you guys are, is anyone here into recognition? Is it like one of your motivating things? You have to know what it is. Is it, do you love recognition? Do you love money? Do you love just really helping people, making an impact on people's lives? Whatever it is that drives you, there's something for you to motivate you through Beachbody. But I was falling in love with the recognition. So the second picture is me at New Leaders Conference in Los Angeles. It's now no longer there. It's going to be, well, hopefully going to be in Vegas. Hopefully we'll go to Summit again sometime soon in person. But New Leader Conference was amazing. So for any of you who are not 1-star yet, oh my goodness, you guys, put that on your vision board this year. New Leader Conference is amazing. The third picture is me 2-star diamond, and I was also premier. And so I got to walk across the stage with my flag, and Carl surprised me with a $100 bill and a handwritten note framed, and it was so exciting. And then the following year, I was elite, and we got this crazy box of goodies because we didn't get to walk across stage at Summit, right? And I had visualized myself walking across the stage and did the whole thing, and none of that came to fruition because quarantine. But I did get to celebrate with a couple of my girls in the bottom left corner in person outside. And then next, I got to go be a part of the leadership retreat, which is something that you get to do once you're a 5-star coach. And of course, that was supposed to be in Arizona, and we didn't get to do it in Arizona. And the next picture is me just cheering with my family to becoming elite this year. So, and then you get these, beautiful flowers. Beachbody is so wonderful about recognition. What I want to show you through these pictures is it takes a journey. Does that make sense? It's not like you're going to be like, oh, new coach, and then you're going to be elite, right? There are stepping stones to get there. So I want to talk to you about the stepping stones. So first of all, you just have to dream big. You have to give yourself permission to be like, I want this. I want to be an elite coach. Maybe you don't want to be an elite coach. Maybe you are brand new and you're like, I don't even know what that word means. So I'm going to explain that to you and all the perks a little bit later. Maybe you know what it is, but you're like, yeah, that's just something that Rosemary does. Like, I'm not an elite coach. I'm just part of an elite team. Well, I want you to change that whole framework because you can be whatever you want to be. You really can in this business. It gives you all the opportunities, but you have to give yourself permission to dream big. And the way we're going to do that is through vision boards, daily affirmations, and if you're a person of faith, prayer. So have you guys who here has made a vision board before? Awesome. Great. I wish we had time to share them all because I think it's really fun to see them. So you can see I don't have pictures. I'm just more of a word person. And I turn these words into daily affirmations. So every day I wake up after my energize, I go sit down, I write a whole page of gratitude, and then I read out my affirmations for the day. And I do that every single day. And so I want to encourage you to do that too. This could literally be as simple as I am an elite coach. I am a 1-star coach. I am getting an invitation to the new leadership conference. I am a 2-star diamond, so I can increase my income by opening a second business center. Whatever it is for you, write that out and say it out loud every single day. I know it sounds a little bit like frou-frou if you're not into this, but it was really new to me until I read the book called The Miracle Morning. So if you're looking for a personal development book, I cannot recommend that book more highly. It really opened up my mind to the fact that God, if you believe in God, created us to have this mind that is so dynamic that we actually can work with our mind instead of against our mind. I heard this really great, was it Autumn, who said, our mind is our biggest muscle and our biggest enemy. I was like, ooh, that hits home, right? So what we have to get control of is that enemy by putting it to work. So I'm going to show you how we can map out big goals. So look at this big mess. This actually makes so much sense to me, but for you, you're like, what the heck am I looking at? So I have this huge dry erase board, and this is what you need to do if you want to go elite because there's this many moving pieces. So I'm going to break this down with you tonight, and then I am going to be totally available to answer any questions, okay? And so every year, you're going to do it again. So I erased that big mess when we achieved our goals last year. And then my daughter joined me and we used more colors this year and we recreated our new vision board for getting to elite this year. Okay. And so I want you to see your affirmation every day. So my upline, I'll never forget years ago, she said that she wrote in lipstick on her mirror, I am the top coach. And she got so scared that she erased it the next day. But what happens sometimes in the bathroom with the steam is she could still see the residue of the oils and lipstick on the mirror. And it said, I am the top coach. And sure enough, she was the top coach 4 years in a row. So I want you to do the same thing. And I don't want you to erase it though. I want you to believe in yourself and whatever it is that you want. So whether it's elite or something else, I want you to write it somewhere so you can see it every single day. Okay. So let's talk about some elite perks. So elite means that you are a 5-star diamond coach. That means you have 5 diamonds underneath you in your first business center. So that could be a controlled account. Like if you're married, it could be your spouse, it could be your mom or your sister, something like that. But ideally, most of those people are working coaches under you who are diamond. You guys know what it means to diamond. It just means that there are 12 people signed up under you who want to be getting healthy at a discount. Ideally, they're working coaches, right? But we know that, it takes some time to find those people. So you have to be 5-star diamond and you have to earn 105 points. And there's other things we're going to talk about in just a minute. But let's talk about the perks first to see if this is something you might not even want to do. Okay. So again, on stage recognition, which hopefully will be at Summit in Missouri, in St. Louis together in July, but if not, it will be virtual. And then you get the express line checkout. And if you've been to Summit before, the lines can be really long because there's all these Beachbody coaches, 20,000 Beachbody coaches who want all the things, right? This says you get a custom elite jacket. I'm kind of curious what they'll do this past year. They gave us a customized necklace with our team name on it and our name, which was really sweet. Front of the line access to pre-selected workouts. You get an invitation to the elite evening. I think that was the biggest reason I wanted to be elite. I was seeing these people doing these elite evening activities, like getting to drive a car around, a racetrack. I was like, what? Like, that's amazing. So they do these crazy, amazing things. Again, I didn't get to do it last year as an elite coach because it was virtual. You get 2 VIP seats at the General Sessions and Celebration Summit for next year. And so hopefully we'll get to go, this will be the following year if you're elite this year. But sitting on the floor really is pretty special because you're in like this huge Superdome. For those of you guys who haven't been there before, you're sitting there and you're like, I cannot even believe these are all Beachbody coaches. It's kind of crazy. So to be on the floor is fun. You get to be a part of elite session at the leadership retreat, which again should be in Arizona. And you get to go to an elite reception at the Success Club trip, which again was just canceled. The world is so different now, right? So all this to say, I think what you have to really say too is like, wow, the world has changed. So the recognition looks different. So if you're motivated by recognition, you will get recognized, but it will be different, right? So you also need to figure out, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, what motivates you. Is it the money? Is it the impact? Is it the rank? Is it the recognition? And then I just wrote some at the bottom that weren't listed in the back office, but you get that Road to Elite trophy completed. So this represents the Road to Elite. So this is what you get when you're team builder. It's pretty heavy. Team leader, premier, and then if you get to elite, you have your name on here and then this little ball on the top. So you get that whole thing there. That's kind of fun. And you get a new one every year. And then you get to be on team calls with super trainers. So when MBF launched, I got to have my team on, the call with Megan. You get to be in a roundtable Facebook group. That's how Rosemary and I met each other. And you get VIP customer service, which might be my best perk because I message them directly. They message me right back. They fix all my problems. I love that. And then you get to be eligible for an elite bonus, which is really great too. So now that we've talked about some of the perks, and there's probably more, let's talk about the elite requirements. Okay, now stick with me. I know this is going to start getting a little bit like deep, but again, the first time I heard it, it sounded like Chinese. Over time, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. So you need to be 5-star diamond, which we talked about. You need to earn 105 leadership points. You need 2 new diamonds if you are so Rosemary and I need to produce 2 new diamonds to be elite again. So just because we've been elite before doesn't mean we get to be elite again. We're working at it just like anybody else. And then you need to have 5,000 volume points on your over the course of 5 weeks on your weak leg. So these are 2 trackers that will help you to break this down and keep track of it. Okay, so the one on the right is the Elite and Premier Goal Guide that you can find in your Coach Online office. And if you're like a math or a numbers person, this is going to be super fun for you. If you're not, you're going to be like, wait, what am I looking at? And you might need a little bit of hand holding, but I'm going to walk you through it. The one on the left is something that was just created recently by the Mompreneur VA. Not sure if you guys use her, but she made this and it's so much more simple. So for example, this is what it looks like for the first step to team builder. So it's much easier. And then there's a new page for each step on the road to elite. So what is important about getting these points and these requirements is to reverse engineer it. And that's that when I showed you guys my big board, right? that was a picture of reverse engineering. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, do I have 5 diamonds? Do I have 5 people who want to go diamond? Am I willing to recruit business builders and rock stars um, to have 5 at the end of the year, right? Think about, okay, I have how many controlled accounts, how many people who are working the business, how many have given me a verbal commitment that they want to be diamond, right? And then you have to figure out, okay, so say I have 3, okay, am I willing to recruit 2 new rock stars this year to get to diamond, right? So you kind of have to have that conversation with yourself and look at your downline and see how much work you're willing to put in and if that's even feasible for you. And then if you've been elite before, you need to ask yourself the same thing. So that's the question I'm asking myself. Which of my 2 current coaches who are not diamond want to go diamond, who are in my first business center? Or am I willing, to recruit some rock stars who are willing to go diamond this year? Okay. Um, and then what I have found in my personal experience is if you make SC10 a non-negotiable, okay, so a lot of you have an SC5 as non-negotiable, and some of you have never hit Success Club, maybe. So for me personally, my non-negotiable was always SC10. So I have hit SC10 every month for like 57 months, except for one, and it was a month of tragedy in our family. So by hitting SC10 every month and being, trying to stay on top of retention and adding in other products with 3-day refresh and energize and those types of things occasionally, it just happened organically. So I never really had to think about that. So just again, think about, am I going to be a high SC earner that is going to produce the kind of volume I need to hit elite? So let's talk strategy 101. Where do you get these 105 leadership points? First of all, if you're thinking elite is not even something you're interested in and you're thinking, why am I on this call? Maybe Premier is something that you're interested in, and Premier requires 75 points, okay? But the thing is that they have to be distributed, not equally, but among these 3 different categories, okay? And so if you are going for Premier, which means you have to be 2-star, then you need 75 points. If you want to be elite, that means 5-star and you need 105 points. So for the purpose of this training, we'll focus on where these 105 can come from, okay? So I will answer questions at the end, so please jot them down if you have them, and thank you for trying to stick with me on this. So the PSSC stands for Personally Sponsored Success Club, okay? So you need a minimum of these, which basically means your 2020 and 2021 coaches who hit Success Club go towards this category. And every time they hit Success Club and you hit Success Club, you earn 2 points. Okay, so if there's a minimum of 30, that means that this has to happen 15 times over the course of the year, minimum, right? So for example, you're going to look at your rock stars on your team. Who's committed to hitting Success Club every month? Who likes to be incentivized and rewarded for hitting Success Club? So for example, I had this one coach named Mary Beth. She hit Success Club every single month last year. So between she and I, we earned 24 points for our team because every time she hit Success Club and I hit Success Club, we earned 2 points. But since there's a 30 minimum, there leaves a 6-point gap for the minimum in that situation, right? So you have to go, okay, well, do I have another coach who is willing to hit Success Club every month, who wants to go all in? Or do I need to recruit more, right? So then you would go and look for those other coaches. So this again assumes that SC is a non-negotiable for you. So if you're not hitting Success Club, you only get 1 point for a coach who hits Success Club. So you always want to maximize that by you hitting Success Club. The second category is APV, means acquisition personal volume. And again, this is the category where if you're hitting SC10 and you're working on, retaining your customers and trying out new products, this might just happen organically for you. I never had to pay attention to it. If you are not hitting SC10 every month, this could be challenging for you. So basically you earn a point for every time you hit 500 PV for your new customers and your new coaches the first time they sign up. The last category for me was the hardest for me. Recruiting is my biggest opportunity for growth. So I love our team. I love coaching, but I have a harder time finding business builders. And so this is required that you have 5 as a minimum new coaches from this year, 2021, who earn 1 Success Club point or more in their first or second month. So if you have someone who signs up this month in well, it's February, who signs up in February, if they sell 1 challenge pack or sign 1 person up for Shakeology or 3 boxes of Beach Bars, if they do that in February or March, you will earn 1 point in this category. So that has to happen at least 5 times. This can happen through working coaches, or it can also happen through discount coaches, so who will soon be called preferred customers. So a preferred customer, right? Someone who signs up with a discount but doesn't plan on working the business, you always want to ask them, hey, who else would you like to invite who could benefit from this? It's always way more fun and it's better accountability for you when you have like a sister or a good friend doing this with you. Who would you like to invite? And guess what? You can earn a friend bonus of like $50 to help you pay for your own challenge pack if you invite them to join you. And in that situation, they have earned, and of course, that means they have signed up with the discount. They will earn one of these points for you. So you can do it between discount coaches and working coaches. So now it's time to look at the gap. Okay, so if you hit the minimum of the SC categories and the maximum on the volume, which is what happened with me, you have acquired 85 points. So where do the extra 20 points come from? So that means you have the opportunity to earn those extra points through your new 2021 coaches with that PS1 SC point we just talked about, or 2020, 2021 coaches who hit Success Club. So for you, you just need to be honest with yourself and say, what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Is it easier to help 2021 coaches or discount coaches to help one person? Or is it easier to encourage last year and this year's new coaches to hit Success Club? So you can focus on both of these categories to meet that gap of those 20 points. So many people don't hit elite until the last month of the year, because you can imagine it takes a long time to accrue, it can take a long time to accrue these 105 points. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Well, you have 11 months, right? And again, there's no guarantee that I'm going to be elite again. I'm sure going to shoot for it, right? But it really is a team effort. I get the flowers, but would never happen without my whole team. And you guys are an elite team. Rosemary gets the flowers, but you guys have contributed to this in so many ways, right? She has helped 5 of you at least, right, get 1 Success Club point in their first or second month of business. She has helped at least 25 of you hit Success Club over the course of last year. She has rank advanced at least 2 new diamonds this year. This is all you guys. The only thing she controls is her leadership and building up of at least 2 new diamonds, building up Success Club earners, and bringing in volume through her own personal customers and new coaches. That's not to minimize it, but I want you guys to understand, when you guys say I'm part of an elite team, that's a huge deal. That's your hard work and hustle, but you can do it too. So I want you to understand that. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, I do not have that kind of leadership on my team, there is no elite for me this year, maybe in the future, then just adjust your goals. No big deal. Not everybody has to go elite ever, but hopefully you will someday because it's fun. If you're a brand new coach, it may not happen this year, but it does happen. Our number 10 coach right now, Carrie Schneider, she went to elite in a year. It can happen. She was asking me questions and here she is, number 10 in the organization. So you can do it too if you really put your mind to it. But maybe shoot for 1 star so you can go to NLC next year. God willing, it'll be in person. Shoot for 2 stars so you can open a second business center. That's when my income doubled. And for me, I'm super income motivated because I have 2 kids who are college age and a younger child who's in private school. So we have a lot of money going out for education. And my goal is to be debt free when it comes to those areas of financial commitment. What about Premier? Remember, that requires 2-star and 75 points, on stage recognition, and really fun swag. What about just a stable 2-star? Stable 2-star will get you a quarterly bonus of $800 or $900 per quarter. Could any of you use an extra, $800 or $900 a quarter? I'm sure many of us could. Or maybe your goals are income. What would more money do for your family? How would it decrease stress in your family? How would it allow you guys to take trips or do things or serve or give away? How would that benefit you? So if it's not elite, I want you to look at this list and think, okay, maybe I'm going to go for this goal. So how can you encourage your team if you decide you want to go for elite or you do want to go for premier? Because elite and premier truly are it's a team effort, like I was saying to you earlier. So offer SC incentives, right? So it can be team swag, it can be, stuff from Beachbody, it can be stuff from Etsy, stuff from Marshalls, workout tank tops, whatever you decide. Do a shout out board every week. So up on the top is my shout out board. And so it's really fun every month for them to see their names on the list and to show how many people we've impacted. We impacted 37 lives last month. Like, that's amazing, right? Like, how exciting to be a part of changing people's lives. And then show each person how they can contribute. So you might say, okay, Amethyst, you're a new coach. So this is the way you can contribute by hitting Success Club. And then you say, but Jen, you're an older coach, so you can't contribute by hitting Success Club anymore, but you can contribute by rank advancing to Diamond, right? So let each person on your team know how they can contribute to those goals. And you don't have to, but you can offer to share your bonus or purchase a gift for each person with that bonus money. So I'll have heard about a lot of people like buy shoes or team sweatshirts, or they take their team on a trip, or they just send them some cash, right, in an envelope. So you can do that if you wanted to, because it truly is a team thing. And then create countdown to create excitement and momentum. So the image on the bottom right is my countdown. So this was like when we were down to the wire and we only needed like 7 more points or whatever. So I would just cross off 1 every time we got one of those points. Every time we had a team call, I would share the countdown and people were starting to get excited. They were like, okay, what can I do to help contribute to this, right? Oh, do I need to sign up my spouse? Signing up my spouse today, right? So whatever it was, for people to get on board and realize this is a train that's going somewhere and you can be a part of something bigger. And then really make it about them and not you. And this was one of my biggest hiccups, is I was like, I don't want this to be selfish, I don't want people to feel like they have to do something for me. But the reality is it wasn't for me. Like I said, I get some swag and I get some recognition, but it really is celebrating that Team Freedom Fighters is a 2-time elite team. So just make sure you are encouraging your team that they get to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Okay, so I've been talking a lot. I gave a lot of words. So I would like to I'm going to stop my share, and I want to open up for questions, but I also would love to give someone, if they're interested, the opportunity to draw up their organization and who thinks that they could maybe be elite, and see what that looks like. Just like, I won't take too much of your time because I know that you guys usually go till like 6:30, but I know I was given like a half an hour. So I won't take too much of your time, but if you want to, I can do that. We don't have to, but I'll open up for questions first. And then Rosemary, you let me know if you would like me to do that exercise or not.
Yeah, if somebody wants to hop on board, it's 9:00 here for us, but we just go until we're done.
Oh,
Not a
sorry
big
about that. I'm in
It's all good.
California. Sorry, girls.
And this year or last year, whatever, was my first time as a premier coach. So we didn't hit elite, but it's on my board for 2021.
Okay. And how many times were you elite before?
None. So I've been a coach for 7 years. And this was our first time premier.
Really? And you're in the round table?
Yeah.
And how many diamonds do you have?
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I love that story. So isn't that interesting? So Beachbody is an interesting, organism that way. Like I've never had 7 diamonds, but I'm elite, right? But Rosemary has 7 diamonds, and so she gets to be in this roundtable group. And obviously, she's growing an amazing organization too. But there's all you saw now how it is kind of complicated, to get there, and there's a lot of moving pieces. So congratulations, being premier is very exciting too. It's like the top. It's a really small percentage of the company. So congratulations, you guys.
And congrats to you. And what I really like, for me, it is income, and to be elite. So that I think it's what, $200 a month if you're top 200 and elite.
It's 500.
Oh, it's 500 a month.
If you're top 200 and elite.
Nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
It's only you get $100 for just being elite, as long as you have 5-star. It doesn't suck. You're right. Yeah, Miranda. If you're just 5-star, but not top 200, every month, if you're 5-star 1 week out of the month, you get $100. But if you're also top 200, which we were last year, then you get $500 a month, which is pretty sweet, right?
Very sweet.
So a lot of people, there's this conversation about like rank over income, like which one should I go for? And sometimes they're mutually exclusive, but not really. They do go hand in hand. But, Rosemary probably makes a lot more money than I do as a 7. We haven't talked about that. So I'm just guessing as having 7 diamonds, because she just has that much more volume coming up through her organization, even though I'm a 2-time elite coach. So it doesn't mean, the elite coaches aren't the ones who are making the most of the money in the organization, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll stop talking now. What questions do you guys have?
What questions does anyone have? Just unmute yourself.
Don't be shy.
I'll ask something. Okay,
Yeah.
so as a coach, how do you get people on board with this as a team without feeling selfish or like you're asking something for your own personal recognition? I know you touched on it, but I feel like a lot of people who are like, I want to be 5-star, or I want to be this or that, they feel like it's a personal goal for them, and it's pushing on to their team or their downline, when you obviously know like our success is a team-wide success and means that their income's growing and all of that. But how do you get everyone on board other than like the checklist, or how would you express it to your team?
It's such a good question, and a question I asked many times because I was so nervous about that, because I don't ever want people to feel like, oh, here, get me to elite so I can get a $500 bonus, right? Like that's really yucky feeling. I didn't want to be that way. So what I did was really just make sure that they know that as they advance, they're getting rewarded, right? Not I'll add extra rewards and incentives, but really Beachbody is rewarding them, right? So for them to be a diamond coach means they're getting a raise, right? I mean, I worked in nonprofit for 17 years and I got 1 raise. And no, you don't work in nonprofit for money, but like I worked really hard. So now I work really hard and I can decide when I get a raise, right? So I have doubled my income in this past year. That doesn't happen in normal jobs, right? So, but I determine that by rank advancing and working hard, right? And so in the same way, I'm encouraging my girls to rank advance so they can get a raise, right? And they get all the swag and all the recognition. I'm huge on recognition. So my favorite part of the job is recognition. So I do all the shout outs, I do all the gifts. I'm in the messenger, like I'm doing the whole thing. That's not how wasn't the case for me with my upline, but to me, that was really, really important. So I think they know how much I celebrate them, so they don't feel like it's about me. Does that make sense? And then I literally say every time, congratulations, team. You guys are so amazing. I'm so proud of your hard heart work. As I always say it, it's called hard heart work. That's what we do. And I will shout them out. And occasionally they'll be like, congratulations to you. And I'm like, thanks, but like, it's really, I try to, by doing that countdown and recognizing every time someone contributes a point, like every time someone contributes a point, I'm like, woo, like Teresina did it, And so I'm not like, oh, I'm that much closer to elite, right? But I'm saying we are that much closer. Like we can do this. Does that make sense? Great question.
And then Erica asked a question on how do you get practically your whole team to diamond? I don't know if Erica, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, let me know when you figure that out. um, so I I have built 7 diamonds like Rosemary, but I have lost a couple of them, like aren't even coaching anymore, which is so sad, right? It's like, oh, you just left it like right when it was getting good, you know? So I know how to build them, but the reality is to keep people around, it's their own decision, you know? And so you have to really help people get really deep with their why, right? What their pain points are, help them. What I find the reason why people aren't diamond typically is around self-limiting beliefs. We all have them. We don't think we either are worthy of success, or we don't think that we can, or we don't believe in the product, or we haven't had our own transformation to share, or we're too afraid to share it, right? Because Carrie Schneider, this gal I just referred to who went elite in 1 year, I love, she just says this, all diamond is 12 people who want to get healthy for less. That literally is what it is. And I am sure that every single one of you on the screen and all of your downline who aren't here with us today have 12 people in their life who want to get healthy for less. Like legit, that's it, right? That's all it is to create a diamond. Now, of course, we want to have people running with us, but to start, that's how most, honestly, you guys, most of the top coaches in the network, that's how they start too. Nobody starts with 12 business builders. I don't know anybody who's ever been that way. So don't ever feel like a fraud or a fake for building that way. Now, we do need to recruit, right? We do need to have business builders because it's way more fun, right? It's more effective. Your income will drive through volume. But I would just really get deep with them about what their goals are. And then I heard this other funny quote that says, don't drag dead people. I know that sounds funny and kind of mean, but like I think I spent a long time doing that. I'm such an encourager by nature. I just like love people. And so I would be like, oh my gosh, you can do this. And like, I believe you, checking you all the time, blah, blah, blah. But it's like at some point they have to decide they want it, right? I believe in them. And so I just say to them, I believe in you. Like now it's time for you to believe in you, right? Like you let me know when you want to go all in and I'm here for you 100%. I'm going to help you get there. But if they don't want it, you can't make them want it.
And Miranda also said, don't water dead plants.
There you go.
Can't water dead plants.
That's a little bit nicer.
Tracy had a question. You kind of sort of answered it, but maybe you have a little bit more to add is, do you have certain systems for training your new coaches? And I'll kind of add on top of that, how do you get your new coaches to hit Success Club right out the gate? Is there something that you say to them? Is it just like, do you have one friend you want to help type of thing?
Yeah, my goal for this year is to, KISS, keep it simple, sister. I really want to simplify my onboarding of my clients and my coaches, right? So I feel like Beachbody gives us everything we need, but sometimes it's too much, right? So what I find is sometimes I bring people and they get scared off. I can get them to do that PS+1 point to hit, to sign up their spouse right away. But then they're like, oh, it's overwhelming. Like I'm quitting. And unfortunately, I've had that happen to me several times this year. And so I'm trying to find the right amount, right? So I was listening to a really great training by Danielle Natoni, I think, and she said she just really dialed it back this year. And she literally goes like this, like sends an email, welcome to coaching. I'm so glad you're here. Watch this video, email me back when you're done, right? And it's like a 3-minute welcome video. They email back and she's like, awesome, so glad you watched this. Now watch this video. It's 2 minutes. Email me back when you're done. And she just does this back and forth, very short, little bite-sized pieces, right? And she doesn't go into the compensation plan. She doesn't go into all the overwhelming verbiage, right, of things that are going to totally lose them. It's just like, let's talk to let's help 3 people, right? Now, the thing is, we can't just talk to 3 people to help 3 people, right? Technically, people say you have to multiply that. That's like 30 people to help 3 people, but not always, right? If you really are willing to have the courage to talk to people you love in your life, you probably do have 3 people, right? Who you can sign up today. You can reach out to your mom, your sister, your neighbor, your best friend who you've been talking about losing weight with for 10 years, right? My first customers were people who, now in California, we can't do this, but who I sat down at a restaurant and had a conversation with. Those were my first clients, right? So I just talked to them about that. Like, who make a list of 10 people who you've talked to about health and wellness over the past, and send them a message, call them, go for a walk with them, go to lunch with them, invite them to join you. Say, I'm doing this thing. I know you might think it's crazy, but I know you love me anyway. So would you be one of my, first transformations? Would you give me feedback and tell me how you like the shake in these workouts, right? And I always throw out the 30-day money back guarantee, right? Literally no risk. Literally send in an empty bag of Shakeology and get all your money back. That doesn't happen at Jamba Juice, right? Nobody else will do that. So even on my team cup right now, I have 2 new coaches who I don't know. They're not from my team. And this girl asked me today, she said, will I get SC points for signing someone up for BOD? And I was like, uh-oh. I didn't realize there was limited understanding about that. And I said, no, you have to sell a challenge pack to do that. And she's like, oh, well, people don't like supplements. This is the problem. Okay. Go back and listen to the National Wake Up Call this week. We need to have confidence in the products so that when we're inviting, it doesn't feel salesy. We're sharing what works for us, right? And if we're sharing our transformation, and back to your question, your new coach is sharing her transformation and being honest about it and sharing the products and her stories. Then when people talk to her about signing up, they're going to be like, I want your transformation. I want to feel as good as you do. I want the energy that you do. So just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And the more we confidently express what we're experiencing, the more people are going to be like, yeah, whatever, I'll just do whatever you want. Right. And I know that for some of you new coaches, you're like, yeah, right, Amethyst. So it does not happen to me. But I swear that as you share more and you share it more confidently and you share that there's a money back guarantee, people will be able to do that. So back to the question, just encourage your coaches to do all those, but really talk to people, like talk to real people. Don't get so stuck behind your messenger and texting, like behind the computer, because we're always like crazy typing, right? Like pick up the phone. Remember how we used to do that? Like pick up the telephone, right? Go for a walk, go to a restaurant, invite your closest people. And of course, if somebody has a spouse, get them to sign up their spouse right away. That means if you have 5 working coaches over the course of the year and there you have a spouse or a mom or a sister or something, you can easily do that PS plus 1 point. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely makes sense. And I love how you just break it down. Super simple. 12 people who want to be healthy for less. And then the last one that you said, sorry, it's 9:20. My brain's going. I already. But it was super simple. Oh, get them 5 people sign their spouse up. That's we can all do that, right? We all can do that. Absolutely. And share with that confidently of why they want to sign up their spouse, right? Show them I always do this in our team page and share my coach online office. When Dave first started, sure, he was making nothing, but now I don't know, I just got my W-2 or 1099. Yeah, it's worth that $15.95 a month to have his account.
Yeah, my husband, I made a royal mistake. Let me just tell you, I love learning from people's mistakes. So I had stopped keeping him active because I didn't need him for a certain rank for a while. So I stopped ordering things under him. And I lost thousands of dollars, you guys. Don't ever let your controlled account go inactive. All right. Just keep 2 boxes of Beach Bars on there. You have your shake on yours. Don't ever let your controlled account go inactive, because right now they might be making, $14 a cycle or $0. But over time, as you build your business, that account is going to earn you some money. So learn from me and don't do that. But the other thing I've been doing to help people with Success Club or help myself with Success Club. Remember, I told you I'm trying to onboard more simply for my clients as well. Is I have been sharing the total solution video. Do you guys know about that one? It's a really pretty short video that talks about BOD, Shakeology, accountability. And once I start the conversation, I say, hey, watch this real quick video and message me right back and tell me what you think. And everyone has been like, oh my gosh, I could totally do that. I like that. Or they're like, I like it all except the shake, right? And then you have to go into the, well, let's talk about the shake, right? Let's talk about how you can get it for $50 this month, because I have a $10 coupon if you're doing Team Cup, and it's $50 instead of $129. So why don't we just try it? And if you don't like it, I promise I will help you cancel it. So that's typically how that goes.
And then can you just elaborate a little bit more on why to keep that account active if you don't, quote, need it? Like what happens when you go inactive?
Okay, yeah. So there's this thing called carryover volume. So every time there's volume coming up through your organization, even if the person isn't selling anything. So for my husband, for example, he drinks his Shakeology every day and he's, totally into this and super, super supportive. But even if he's not bringing customers on or anything like that, volume is coming up through his organization because I'm pumping volume into the organization, right? So it's coming up through him. So over time, he is accruing volume, right? And so now it's just a matter of him having clients or coaches who are also matching that volume to create that team cycle bonus. And so, for example, my daughter, who's over 18, she has 115,000 carryover volume points in her account. So that means she's sitting on like a treasure chest, right? If I let her go inactive for 1 week, 115,000 goes to zero. Does that make sense? So if I keep her active, then as soon as I can get some volume coming up through her weak leg, she's going to start cycling and that's going to start turning into cash. I hope that visual makes sense. They do need to be emerald to cycle. Yes. Yeah. But it doesn't go anywhere if they're not. They just have to be active.
Yeah, so even if they just have one coach underneath of them and they're building that volume, once you pop them to emerald, you get things moving.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they drop back down to a coach, but you still keep them active, all that volume is still going to be there until you pop it back to emerald and start getting those cycles going.
Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds crazy right now if you're new, but I just tell you that because I didn't understand when I was new. And so I always like to tell people, so my pain will be for your benefit. Just if you do have a controlled account, just keep, you probably eat Beach Bars. Just have 2 boxes of Beach Bars under that account all the time and have your Shakeology on your account.
And our health is our investment and our investment is our business, vice versa. So don't look at it as like, oh, I'm just wasting this money. No, like it's not even his savings account because it doubles and triples and quadruples that you don't know it until you're 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down the road. And you're like, wow, imagine if I didn't have that. I know my income would definitely be cut in half. Why? Because I didn't want to spend $15. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Amethyst, thank you so very much. And I cannot wait to speak to your team. I think next week.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I hope that, I hope this helps. I hope this helped you dream big, right? So if for nothing else, I want you to go and like sit down and be like, what do I want, right? What do I want in the long term? And then what do I want this year? Okay. And then what you can control is your mindset. Okay. So I want you to really think about your personal development time, what you are going to pour into your head with your personal affirmations. If you don't even know what affirmations are or you're not doing them, I really want you to get Miracle Morning today, order it on Amazon, get it on Audible, and start listening now and applying those things now. Okay. So I love that someone's Lisa, you said you could talk about 3 more hours. I'm so glad. Good, because I know it can feel overwhelming. But I just want you to know, like, dream big, you guys. Like, for me, I got to pay for my daughter's first, semester in college debt free. I just paid for my son's first semester in college debt free. Like, that's for me. Like, I came from I grew up with a single mom. Like, we had no money, zero. Like, I ate SpaghettiOs and hot dogs growing up, right? Beachbody changed my life. So think about how Beachbody has changed your life, and then how you want it to help you change your family and your future's life. Okay.
So powerful. And thank you. Yes, this was so easy to digest and you explained it all so very well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone have a good night.
You're
See you guys in the
welcome.
morning.
Good night, ladies.
Bye.